What is up, legends? We are back, and we're gonna do something really quick. We're gonna go over the developer notes. I lightly read it. I was like on my way somewhere, but I'm gonna read it again because I didn't digest it properly in front of you guys and respond to things. Now, one of the things that was in the notes is we're getting these free items right here, which definitely helps. But let's just go ahead and I am actually going to send the girls somewhere and let them farm. Let's do the outsider event, because obviously this is hard mode that should be open right now. So I'm going to use my currency. I'm going to use like all of the refreshes. Matter of fact, come on, game, calm down. All right, so hard mode is now open now, and you can actually go down to farm and do all the good stuff, and hopefully you not waste all your tries, because bam. Actually, I don't even have a lot. I'm gonna use my currency anyway on this, and I'm gonna leave the 400 for later because we're not gonna do all that. And plus I need some currency for the liberation as well. I'll get currency back. But I don't really need to summon anything right now because I'm beyond the cap, and everything else that I get from this point is just like icing, obviously. And then I showed you guys previously how to get beyond the cap anyway. And what I did to get beyond the cap, I basically forced it, going after Modernia and making her the 5th character, and I luckily got leader. And a lot of it is still luck, but we're gonna talk about the notes after I send them into here. All right, so hello commanders, this is Yu Hong Suk, the director of Goddess Victory NIKKE. I send you my warmest greetings here via the first developers note of 2023. 2022 has been more meaningful than I ever, more meaningful. Why can't I read right now? More meaningful than ever, as we could finally. Oh, hold on a second. I was doing something, so I didn't have it on auto. Thank you so much for your support and love. We are thankful and sincerely hope that 2023 will be the year full of happiness and good luck for the commanders. Maybe. Depending on what y'all do. We have introduced some new content that is in progress via the New Year's greeting video, and today's developers note, we would like to share some information that was not included in the video. Firstly, the development of the union raid has been completed, yay, and final tuning is being carried out. Again, yay, at least you're testing it. Good stuff. Don't just throw it out there and then make us the testers. That's very good. The Union Raid is a seasonal mode centered around bosses, and each season will last for 7 days. Now, reading this real quick,
wait till I get my reloading.
I hope that's like, I don't, the 7 days is kind of like I guess it's in between the other co-op stuff, but again, like I told you with co-op, I think co-op should be every day, because it's one of the cool things that we get in the game, that we can interact with other people, first of all, because the game is a lonely game if you're not interacting with anybody. So, but it's good that the Union Raid is coming, because that's going to be, again, more interaction. We can get on Discord and hopefully strat a little bit, say, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that with your guild and stuff like that. So hopefully that'll be good. Going down, we envision the first season to start on January 27th, which is next week. On Union Raid reward, Union chip, and the Union shot will also be in effect officially, which we've been looking at it forever, just couldn't do anything with it. And that actually, now that that's actually going to work, that's going to help a lot of the being capped. The 160 cap is still going to be a thing. And again, dev team, because I know the dev team is actually looking, because they told us that they're actually looking. Dev team, you have to do something about the 160 cap. Nothing in this is actually addressing that cap. you have Liberation, and again, I'm telling you guys, Liberation shouldn't take as long as it's taken because you have 3 characters right there, literally, that can get rid of the whole 160 cap if we're actually allowed to farm them in a timely manner. Right now, it's going to take too long, and people are going to quit before they ever even get beyond the 160 cap. I know somewhere in this they're saying that you guys are deliberating, and so I don't know what the hell you're deliberating. All right, like I know that you guys could see player counts and everything else like that, and what happens when players get to 160. So there's no reason for you to be deliberating a day beyond you actually seeing me say this right now, that you need to actually do something about that, like immediately. That should be the first thing you change. The first thing. Nothing else is more important than that right now. I want to reiterate that there's nothing else in this game is more important than you making that cap softer on everybody. Me personally, it took me 2 weeks to get by it, and I had to actually pay my way by it. Honestly, you can luckily get by it if you have the luck to get the dupes and everything else like this, but majority of us are not going to get that lucky. I obviously did not. So to make it skill-based, that hey, you can go through Liberation and do all of the Liberation stuff, and then you got 3 characters, you should already have 2 characters that can get by 160. Just natural luck should that should happen, 2 to 3 characters. But if you make those 3 characters actually be able to be grindable in a timely manner, they should take like 2 weeks apiece. In honesty, 2 weeks apiece, that's it. That's all it should take. It should not take like 2 damn months per character. Like, that's ridiculous. And that's easily, you don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to actually change the system, anything else like this. It's just it takes too long to do that. And like that's one of your problems solved right there. But we're gonna keep going in there. Secondly, the ranking will be added to the co-op battles, and the co-op battles were the co-op battles were one of the most popular modes during CBT. It's the most popular mode now. The co-op battles are fun. And I said this in the co-op battle that there should be reward for score rankings, and obviously it was like that in the CBT, and it got kicked. If you do good, you should get rewarded for doing good. That should be a thing. We just shouldn't be sitting there for like 2.5 minutes because we killed the damn boss. That's another thing that should be up out of here. Again, something that you shouldn't be deliberating. It should be a thing. We understand that not all players favor competitive play, which is true, and we want players to enjoy the gameplay without burden, which is also true. Overall, there'll be a few adjustments to the reward and types of gameplay that include additional ranking rewards, which is all good stuff. Clapping. We aim to deliver a ranking feature for the co-op battle in about a month. All good. There's also plans to increase the outpost defense levels. However, we're still in delivery. This is what I was talking about. What are you in deliberating about? What dev is in the meeting saying they don't need? Hello? We don't have much renewable currency in this game, and that is the second thing that should be immediately addressed and fixed. You need renewable currency because that gives people, even from free to play to whales, that gives people incentive to actually play, to farm, and want to stick around in your game. If we feel that we can't get currency, guess what we're not going to do? We're not going to play, we're not going to show up, YouTubers aren't going to do videos, nobody is going to stream it, and your game dies. That's what it is. You do not get the pass go, no collecting $200, that's it, it's over. You have a ghost town game, which is pretty much what you call niche, with like 1,000 people playing every month, and everybody else is going to be doing something else. Like, please, like that is the reality of the situation. I know it sounds mad dramatic, but that's how gacha goes. That's what's been happening for the past 15 years in gacha. I know, because I've been here the past 15 years in gacha, and that happens every single time that a company does not listen and decides that they know what the hell they're talking about, doesn't want to listen to the Western market, and you end up with no community. So don't be that game. Just flat out, there should be no deliberating this. That annoys me when I see. What are you deliberating? Are you really saying that that we don't deserve that? Like, what? Absolutely not. What are you even pausing for? Who's the person pausing? Is it some old person that's like 70 that don't go outside, has no internet, no phone, never even played the game, saying they don't deserve anything, make them work? Is that what's going on right now? Hello? No. Next we have several updates like that. When I was outside when I first read, I was like, what? I almost crashed my damn car. Like, deliberating what? Next, we have several updates to the game, such as adding a horizontal screen or orientation option, liberation system, live wallpaper, and also updating and resolving various issues, which they did. The game is a whole lot better than it is. It still has FPS issues here and there, and that is more so, one, where most of us are using emulators. Two, most of us are using phones that probably can't handle what the game is doing. I'm going to be honest with you guys right now. If you guys have not noticed, I see a lot of people, and I seen it yesterday in the Discord, people were saying, well, they can't get smooth FPS. Guys, I'm telling you, as a person who's making a game right now, mobile can't handle fluid 60 FPS. There is no mobile thing right now on the market that will not drop frames. That doesn't exist in technology right now. You will get close to 60, but there is no such thing as not dropping frames. So when you expect a mobile platform game to just give you smooth 60 FPS all the time, you're not, like, you just don't know what you're talking about at that point, because that doesn't happen. They all drop frames sooner or later. Some are better than others, some do it better, some stay around between 50 to 60, but there is no such thing as a mobile platform game anywhere on the planet. The technology can't do that yet. Maybe in 2 or 3 years, yes, it will be able to do that, right? But the problem is that we play this as if it's a PC game, and we're assuming that it's a PC game, so we expect it to act like that, which again, I said in the last Hype Watch, that is one of the problems with mobile platforms, is that we start unfairly expecting it to act like a PC platform when it's not. The technology is just not there. You can go and Google it right now. Can mobile run straight 60 FPS? And you will see majority of times that when they do testing, it always fails. It never stays 60 because it can't. It just can't. The technology is not there yet. It's close, but the technology is not there yet. So you will never see this game not drop frames, because it can't not drop frames. Technology, technically, it can't just do that. So they can get it close, which I think they're fine. Like, you know, when they drop frames here and there or something like that, it's frustrating. Sometimes it does cause you to lose a fight, but at the end of the day, they actually do a lot better than a lot of people. It's the same thing that goes for all of the, anybody who covers FPS on mobile tells you the same damn thing. They all say, like, as long as they get as close to 60 as they can possible, then fine. But you're never going to get straight 60 on mobile. Well, you're just not. It's almost super hard to do it on PC. So you're expecting the mobile platform to act. Okay, we're just gonna not. These issues include different device models having different damage output, which this line right here, that is unfair. I'm going to point out that is unfair, but again, that's technology. Some phones, because they can get closer to 60, are going to outperform. You're going to do better at DPS because you're getting more of the input out, so you're getting more shots on the screen, and you're just going to do higher DPS. That's just the way it is. That's how FPS works. But this line right here, there's nothing they could do about that. There's really nothing they can do about that. Either you're going to have a good phone or you're going to have a potato. They can technically try to make it smooth all they want. That's never going to change. Even if you make your program the ultimate, that's never going to change, guys. So that's an unrealistic expectation. Again, people expecting mobile platforms to be PC platforms. If you want the best possible DPS, you're going to have to get a better phone. That sucks. I hate the idea. I don't have like my phone 2 years old, so like, you know, I'm assed out. There's nothing I can do about that. My computer's good, but it's not the best computer. Like, you're looking at me do this right now, and I am dropping frames right now. Right now, I could have a better computer. Am I getting the best DPS right now? No. So I'm gonna have to like get something better. Like you're literally watching it right now. You're watching it drop frames right now. It's dropping frames literally right now. I'm looking at you guys can't see it, but it's going up and down right now from 60, 52, 53, 50, back up to 60 right now. 60, no, straight right now. But again, I'm using my computer right now. Drop down to 57 because there's stuff on the screen. A little bit more. Back up to 60. Like that. Down, like literally right here, down to like 52, back up to 60. This is just going to happen. It's just going to happen. There's not a lot they can really do about that. It's on the technology to get better to be able to possibly handle that. So, you know, I like to tell you guys the truth and give you the reasoning behind it and the tech behind it. So if you don't want to, you don't have to listen or believe me, but I'm literally telling you why it's happening. So you can say, hey, can this do 60? And then look it up on Google right while I'm saying this. And then you see, hey, you know, 60 is possible, but not straight and stuff like this. You're going to literally see it pop up. So Digger's attacks can't be intercepted in interception. That's a lag thing, because it happens to me sometimes. Now, what do you like? That's a lag thing. That's not the game's fault. But I guess people are getting mad because they can't do it because of the lag. But that's not on it. Like that's just the lag thing. Like again, that's device, and do you have the proper thing to actually do that? Infinite loading during PvP under certain circumstances. I had that happen before. I don't know why it happened. It happened like twice or something like that. One time I got a lost sword. I was like, bruh. But anyway, hopefully they fixed that. Resurrected skills as Rapunzel and Anne, Miracle Fairy at HP. We're investigating the cause, which caused the issues to resolve later. I've never seen that because I don't have those characters. So, the skill description for the new route is NIKKE, Jackal with ambiguous, and you will avoid error occurrence as such as possible in the future. That's just like a quality assurance thing. You just need people to make sure when you translate or whatever you're doing, you need to pay attention to what's actually there and that it actually sounds like English. We also ensure that new character information supplement in more detail, like they did with the new character, one of the liberation characters. It said stun when it wasn't stun, which I was gassed, but I'm still gonna use it because it's taunt. But yeah, Viper will be launched January 19th. Have a new effect. Vamp will also provide explanation to introduce their effect, which is nice. We sincerely hope that Gods of Victory NIKKE will be a game that is loved by the current and future commanders. As such, each NIKKE should have their own usability. Jackal's skills were also designed to be with this in mind, and she will be designed into a character that can be teamed up with Guillotine and Brid. So we'll maintain the current composition and seek your understanding of this. I mean, that's cool. Like, everybody has like a build or characters. You don't really need to. It seems like they're apologetic about that. You don't need to be apologetic about it. Also, to achieve this goal, we plan to reevaluate characters with low usage and gradually make balance adjustments to improve their usability. The priority would be characters who use MG SG weapons with defense reduction features. We will update everyone once decision agrees. So what they talk about this is how hard it is to use them in the beginning, because that's kind of what happened with Winter Rupee until I said nah, people being bad and not actually building the character. Winter Rupee is a high-end character. She's not a front-end character. And what they're pointing out with this right now is that front end, when people see that the character just flat dies, they're not going to use the character. So that means that front end, maybe she's struggling, or maybe the characters that have the defense reduction or that type of stuff, maybe they're struggling because they're getting hit and they're not doing what they need to be doing. So it is what it is. So you can have like which that's also defense brick characters as well. They don't do enough. So the defense brick characters, the defensive characters, they all seem to have that machine gun and SMG type of feel, and they feel left behind compared to the snipers, compared to the rocket launchers, the grenade launchers and stuff like that, because they come straight out the box and just pop stuff. So you have these characters over here who take a while to actually defense break and everything else. That's actually a tech, not like tech as in far as the game itself. That's part of the system of the game that's imbalanced. Like the system, the way that this game actually works with the skills and everything, that the game has ramp up. A lot of characters need to either reload or get to their first burst and actually use their good stuff, and that leads to problematic situations where the characters basically don't get. Why does it take it so long? Oh, there we go. That leads to an issue of where they just don't really get to have their work out. Meanwhile, like the rocket launcher characters are good because they have like the burst. They have like on hit type of stuff that when they do their first shot, they're getting buffs out and things like that.
Wait till I get my reloading done.
So they have to figure out what they want to do with characters like that. Like how can we make them more usable that people are going to want to use them in the beginning and make use out of those characters. So, you know, that's a thing. And I think we're close to that. Some commanders may somewhat be disappointed with recent updates, and we sincerely apologize for that. Like, the liberation system obviously is a major thing where people are upset because of how long it takes. What I would have done here, even though it's great that you gave us free stuff, is I would have shortened the time of the liberation. Like, lower the requirement. Lower the requirement. Or give us more points that we push along further in that and get through the story so we can get those characters. That's what a lot of people are upset about, because last week, even in my comment section, people were saying, oh, the liberation system is coming. We don't need to worry about the 160 wall. We could just get those characters. But then when it came, we saw how long it actually takes to get the characters. That's not fixing the 160 wall. That's not fixing the 140 wall. Like, so that's where people are upset with. This is all good, well and good, again, you know, helps and great. That's great. But the main source of contention is that and our lack of renewable currency, because once you get to a point where you can't push story anymore, you don't have any renewable currency at that point. I have nothing to go get as far as, you know, hitting items or doodads on the maps. I found everything I could possibly find. I farmed all the karma that I can farm. I can't get any more karma tickets to push karma anymore, and I can't push story, and I'm not actually leveling any more of my defense because I'm not pushing story. So you're just not generating any currency at that point. Like, again, get a person to do balance, because that's your problem right now. And it sincerely annoys me when I see you saying that you're deliberating that. That tells me, as a person actually in the industry too, that you don't have anybody doing balance, that you don't understand the balance at this point, that you're deliberating it, and that you're taking way too long to actually think about the obvious stuff in this game that people are religiously saying. Every time I go to a NIKKE post, I literally see 160 wall sucks, is pay to win. If I go into Discord, if I type 160 wall, there is literally 1,000 posts on that. I'm not kidding. Discord actually lags to load 160 wall. You're like, bro, what are you deliberating? I want to say a whole lot more, but I'm trying to keep it, you know, like normal and not start cursing, because you get flagged on YouTube for that. But it's frustrating that it's common sense stuff, and when I see words like that this is like, you're not using common sense. You're not looking at what people are saying. You're not actually going in, and I'm putting pressure on you guys and doing videos like this because I want you to actually do better. I'm not going to be the YouTuber to ignore all of those things and say, hey, well, and get by this. You're not going to get that out of me. I'm one of the OGs, and I'm going to keep it straight, and you're going to have to do right. At the end of the day, you're going to have to actually pay attention to what the community is saying. You have to actually pay attention to what I'm saying and actually fix the issues. Majority of the stuff that it seems to be focusing on is not actually fixing the main issues. Just fix the main issues first, and then you can worry about all the other stuff. We are constantly telling you 160 war. We are constantly telling you renewable currency. I'm ignoring the whole FBS stuff because that's a tech thing. I know that there's not a lot the company can actually do about that particular instance. You guys actually have done a very good job on that. If I'm being honest, this game works the way that it actually needs to work. Let's just hit auto. At the end of the day, it's going to be up to us as consumers to make sure that we're running it on the proper hardware to get as close to 60 FPS as we can. But it's just on mobile, you guys that are mobile on phones, on tablets, and everything else like this, you're not going to get 60 FPS straight. And on emulator, the only way that you're going to get 60 FPS straight is you're going to just straight up have to get a good computer to do that all the time. You see, I have a good computer and I still drop frames. Like that's not, it's not a game. It's not a game issue. This game doesn't even memory leak anymore. So we can't even say that. When I actually click on lost memory with BlueStacks with this game, it doesn't lose a lot of memory. When I look at what my actual overall CPU usage for this game, my CPU usage right now for this game with the RAM right now, my RAM is at 37%. My CPU usage is at 19% right now. So what that tells me, just from like a tech person, because I'm a techie, that this game is running actually pretty well. That's not bad for an emulator. What is my emulator on, by the way? I'm just gonna, my settings, I'm on 6 cores right now. I'm on 6 cores right now and 6 gigs of RAM. That's good. That's good. That I got nothing to say to y'all on that. That is perfectly fine. So outside of those particular things, that's all I really have to say. I know this was wordy, nerdy, and techie, but I wanted to point that out. Again, I wanted to talk straight to the devs. This is more me talking to them. I'm not talking really to the community. This is me literally talking to the devs right now. So don't think that I'm not saying anything. I'm not blaming you guys. You guys are all of your concerns are valid, and in my opinion, and I'm just trying to get the situation worked out as a content creator with a voice to actually do that and say like where the devs actually should be paying attention to stuff, and where I think it gets lost in translation. And I think again this might be a culture difference, because it's obviously, you know, Asian devs don't like to listen. Like they just don't, and it's no disrespect to them, it's just a culture thing. They don't like to listen, like for whatever reason. They don't like to actually, when we're literally saying this is the problem, like we're pointing at it, we have it like in red right here, and they like, oh, lag, you guys are lagging, it's lag, big problem. You guys like we're thinking about giving you more ranks when we're saying we need more currency for renewable currency. Well, we got to think about what. I'll catch you guys next video. Peace. Thank you, Legends, for getting to the end of the video. We do 3 to 4 videos every day. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be first in notification squad. I love everybody who stops by, and I will see you next video. Peace.